Hello and welcome to my craft room. My name is Deanna Gonzalez and I was really excited. One of my friends let me know that she was going to be doing a tea party for some young ladies and wanted to, get some ideas for name place settings, and I know that she was making a menu, so I wanted to make just a cute little wrap showing, like a little insert. So this video is going to be a little different because this is absolutely dedicated to Fatima, who does not have die cutting machines. She doesn't have, she's not just starting, but definitely is starting to accumulate some really wonderful toys, tools. And I wanted to show her, as well as any of you, especially if you have like last minute, you're trying to throw something together really quick, but you want it to look nice. I wanted to show you what you could do just using simple, simple ideas. So I realized I don't remember if it was 1-2 years ago, I did a party, some party videos. So I'm going to do a link in my YouTube video description showing some of those things I had already done. But this, I was really trying to like step back and think, okay, if I were just beginning and, kind of wanted to do something, special, what would be hopefully not too overwhelming. So here are some ideas. And what my main thing here is going to be these name cards, these cute little nameplate settings, where all we do is stamp a little image here so we can write the name, as well as making a menu. Now, my friend is making menus on a Word document kind of situation, but I know that some of you aren't that comfortable doing stuff on computers, and some of you are. I like to do a lot of things in Photoshop because I can push, put the text exactly where I want it. I can make the image go where I want it to go. And, with companies like Stampin' Up, where they've got the My Digital Studio, you can download generic files. You can use their stamps on the computer to put things, in a good corner and just print up a bunch of things. Now, this works great for wedding invitations, tea party invitations, anything you have to do a lot of. It can be helpful. But if you don't have to do something too crazy, I wanted to show you something fun you can just use with stamps. Now, my friend does have a slicer. Now, I use my ridiculously large one for everything, but I wanted to show you how you can use this. I also usually use a big scoreboard. I'm just going to use this to score as well, to show you. Now, I'm going to go, basics, starting with a piece of paper, just a small piece, and show you exactly how I made this wrap. Pretty simple, hopefully not too overwhelming. First, I want to show you something quick and simple you can do just for name place. Now, you can choose to do like a little bit of layering, or if you really want to do something quick, you can just put like a stamp in the corner, just taking a 3x3 square and scoring it, or just folding it in half at the 1.5 mark, and then just stamping the corner, and you've got your name place right there. And here, just a couple of really cute ones that I think are cute. So that's one idea. Another idea I thought was just taking the 3.5 and doing just one more step, just to make it a little more helpful. So we're just going to go here on our cutter and go to the 1.5. Now, most cutters will have a score blade as an option. This has both the cutter and the score on it. However, for those of you who do not have one, you can also use a bone folder or just one of the embossing styluses, and just like kind of go through here, and now you've got a great little score right here. We're just going to fold that, and now we've got our little name place thing. And the way I cut this, I just made it so I had a little bit of a border. So if you take your cardstock and just keep, figuring out where you like it. What I do is I usually, just to figure this out, I'll put this here and I'll move it in just a bit, and then that's where I'll have my cardstock so that I can see about where, and then the same with here, you know, bring it in a little bit, and then I'll be like, all right, this is where I want it, okay, and then that's how I usually figure it out, in case you're trying to figure this out from absolute scratch. Otherwise, you can just keep slicing until it gets to where you like it. So, to do a cute little, just a little corner, I just used this basic flower, and I wanted to show you multiple things here, because you know, sometimes you want your tea party to be a little more elegant, sometimes you want it to be a little more whimsical, so you know, there's different things you can use. Now, let's see. Oops. Going to get my little, you want something to be able to stamp off on the edge so that you don't get your workspace all gross and everything. So I'm going to use Thistle. I love this color from Close to My Heart. I think it's so beautiful. I'm just going to ink it up. And then we're just going to come in, and we just want it to be on the corner so we can write the name. Just make sure I get it out. And you can use, you know, anything that you feel like would go great with the theme. I'm just going to stamp this. And again, if you're doing it straight on here, you would just stamp it right on the folded area. So there we go. So that's really simple, cute, easy. There's that. And if you wish, you can always stick little sparkles in the middle. Well, I should probably actually adhere this first, but one of those days, you know, the mind just goes all over the place. So to adhere this, you're just going to take your little tape runner, and I know that my friend Fatima has one, and we're just going to take a little bit of tape. I like to put it on the top and the bottom, that way, you know, it feels pretty secure. If you really want to save on tape, you could just do one little line and, you know, it will be fine as well. I just really like this to be like long term. I always think like that, I guess. So we're just going to lay it down, trying to even it up, make sure that, you know, it's pretty even all around. There we go. And if we want to pizzazz it up, we could just stick a little jewel, sparkle, something right here. And, you know, the reason I use a sticky, pokey thing is it just makes picking up these things a lot easier, making sure I get that adhesive. Because sometimes when you do this, the sparkle comes off and the adhesive stays, and then it's not a sticker, and it's sad. So here we go. There's the one with the little sparkle. I feel like that looks really cute, actually, so you can see the difference. Oh, it looks like I put the flower on this side last time. Well, you know, you can put it any way you want to. But yeah, so... Oh boy, Deanna. So yeah, obviously put it on whatever side, you know, suits you the best. Okay, so moving on. I'm going to show you what I would do if I just want a special little corner swirly, and this is going to be for the menu. And you can always type something up, print it, cut it out, and then stamp afterwards just to give it that extra, you know, something. What I wanted to do is I wanted to use a swirly. So this is no longer available, but you can find swirly stamps all over the place. They're great for this kind of a thing, especially if you're going to do invitations or, you know, just like corners on your cards. It can look amazing. And we really want to have the little bit of foam here, that way it'll press. Since it's such a large stamp, we want some of those inside bits to really get pressed. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the ink on. And a good way to get this spread really well is just kind of like tapping it. That's a good way to coat your stamp really well, and just being careful. I don't like to snap this shut. You're supposed to be able to snap it and then you can use it without worry. But I have the darndest time trying to get it unsnapped to then close it. So a lot of times if I can, I avoid that. So I'm going to go and I want to make sure that this is off the edge. Like, I don't want this inside on my cardstock. So I need the swirls to go outside the lines, because that's of course the way regular fancy papers and everything, I mean, that's how it is. You don't start the pattern inside. And so when stamping swirly bobbies, I like to do it outside just to make it, you know, just flow better and seem about right. And I'm just trying to make sure I press. If we don't fully have a good press and we miss some of it, you know, you can always, you know, well, let's see if I did okay. Oh, it looks like it's fine. But if you do miss some of it, you can always lift it and press. Because it's a clear stamp, it'll be easier to do placement. So we're going to be using that again in just a bit. So I'll leave that out. Now, something I wanted to show you, and usually what I'd have is I'd have everything laid out so that I save time. This time, because I'm, you know, wanting to show especially my friend how to do this, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So what I do when I want to I'm sorry, I'm so computer oriented, forgive me. When I want to stamp a word, I just lay it down, and this is another wonderful thing about the clear stamps. You see exactly how it's going to look. So I'm just going to lay down my words so that it's where I want it to be when I stamp, and then that way I'm going to have an idea of what it looks like. Otherwise, if you go ahead and just put it on your block, sometimes it's not evenly lined, sometimes it's not exactly the placement you want. I'm just going to make sure this is exactly. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then you put your block on there, and now you're ready, and it's all set to go and makes it just so much easier. So I really like that. Just going to go ahead and get a good amount. And I just want to put my word menu here. Now, I realize that doing it this way, you're going to handwrite the menu, and if you're a little nervous about that, again, you can always just type it up, print it, and then stamp around. Just try to like figure out whereabouts you're going to want things. I know sometimes that can be like kind of frustrating, or you might have to do a lot of trial and error, and I know that can be hard. So I just, you know, want to encourage you. You can do it. You know, sometimes it just takes time and practice, and you know, all of us start somewhere. So, you know, don't worry. So just I want to show you how you would take just a 12 by 12 and figure out the sizing, because your menus may be all kinds of different sizes. And just having it lay like this on a plate can look really elegant, or up on a little stand, you know, just to give it the extra presentation. So what I do is so much easier on my big one, because there's a placement thing, and as I put it there, I can keep it there and then just kind of cut tons. But you know, for the sake of this, I wanted to show you how you can do this. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to be scoring and then folding, because I want this to hold. So I need this to be a little fold down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is actually bigger than my cardstock here, enough so that I feel like, okay, look, see here, I can fold that, and that'll be fine, that'll be good. So I'm going to close this, and shoot, I think that's the non-cutting one. So I'll cut that, and discard that for another project some other day. Another thing I want to do is now I'm going to try scoring. So how will I figure out how I'm going to do this? Well, first of all, I want to score the bottom where I'm going to fold. So I want a little bit of room up here. Okay, so let me get this up here actually, it'll help me better. So here's the line, and I want about this much extra probably. So I'll score here. Move this out. Walk this down. Shoot, I don't want to use this just in case. I'm not sure if my friend has a score blade or not, so I will use this. Fatima, hopefully if you have any questions you'll just let me know. So just going to score all the way down this entire length, and this is going to again give me the fold that I want later. Alright, so we've got that. Now I want to do, what I'm trying to do now is find the halfway point. So we're going to line it up, and I know this seems tedious. If you really want, you could just wrap a little, like take vellum and cut it and then fold it over, do a bow, that could be cute too. But I wanted to show you how you can do this, and this works with invitations as well. And now we're going to take this and move it over to this side. And again, what we want to do is we want to make sure that the white is going to be a bit inside the score line, because we need to make sure that we can slip it in after it's been folded. So hopefully I'm not too much in the way there. I'm going to score it about here, I think will work. Alright, so as you can see, we have some good lines here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just trim, maybe I'll fold first. Let me fold. So we're just going to fold where we scored. And if you pressed in, like when you press in here, I have a piece of hair there. When you press in here, that's where you're going to fold over. Sometimes it can be hard to know what you're supposed to do. So we'll just fold that and fold this. And we're just going to cut out these because we're trying to make a little flap. So just going in. You don't have to be horribly precise. If you really, really want to be crazy precise, you can go ahead and just use this cutting board again. And I'm just going to make like a little V-nick thing in here. That's going to help later. But we want to make sure that we're cutting above the score line, not below. Because if we go below, when we fold it, we're going to have this embossed little ugly edge. And that won't look very nice. So when we want to do our little flap, we're going to be attaching these down to each other. So we want to cut like this. So for this one, I'll start this way. I'm just going to line this up like this. Okay, and then we're going to, we want the same thing but this side. So I'm going to go, just making sure that the embossed edge is here and then the corner is there. And now we've got our cute little fold here. And you could always, if you wished, use one of the border punches. It's going to take more time, but that could look really cute, a border punch all the way around. So what I'm going to do right now is, last time I folded this and then I stamped the edge. This time, since I know what I want it to look like, what I might do, just have a better press, because this didn't quite work. I had to press it a few times. Having to fight against the couple of layers didn't really help. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do it this way, even though some of the stamp is going to be on this side. I really don't think that's a problem. But if you really, really don't want any kind of thing on the back side, you can always just fold it and do it. You just want to be a little more careful in doing that. So getting this really nice and inked here. Woo! Close that out so I don't dry it out. And just going to come in here. Again, we want the edges to be off a bit. So I think that is great placement. So I'm getting close to the edge, not quite, but yeah, just really pretty. So I'm using the thistle with thistle color. I love that about companies like Close to My Heart, Stampin' Up, Paper Tray Ink. There are some more. They are great because they'll give you the ink as well as the cardstock, so coordinating is fantastic. Stamping on top of it, you'll get just a darker layer of the same color and it can look really, really pretty. So this is the finished look here, and I think that is just so gorgeous. So now, when trying to figure out how to adhere this, I like to use this score tape. It's I get it on Amazon, and it really makes life easier for me because it's a strong adhesive. If you use glue, it can be cheaper, but it also takes time to dry. It can ripple when it's finished drying. It can ooze all over the place. It can be messy. I just want this to be simple, easy, you know. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it this way. So what I'm first going to do is I'm putting the flap without the stamp over, because I want the stamped image to come over. Now, figuring out where to put the score tape next can be a little difficult, because what we don't want to do is put sticky here and then make this attached. We only want adhesive here to here. So I like to figure out basically where that one starts here, and that's where I'm going to start putting my score tape. If it's not quite high enough, that's not as big of a deal as having it way too high. That's much worse. So just going to go ahead and put it like that. Peel this and move that over. And again, you could put ribbon, tie ribbon, put a little stamped something, but I really liked this little cute idea of having you've got your menu, and as you pull it out, the swirls that are on the outside come, kind of go with it. So I hope you like this idea. Fatima, I hope you really like this idea. I hope this helps just with some ideas. And, throwing parties for, people, friends, little girls, teenagers, anybody, it's so much fun. It really just kind of makes us step away from the everyday and take a look at what really matters most, and that's relationships, and that's, being able to do things for others that just, cheer them up. I find, especially when, going through some hard things yourself, sometimes looking around and seeing someone else that might be having a bad day, you could totally have an awesome day if you make their day better, because you're just focusing on others and what they need, and it just kind of distracts you from, the hard things you're going through. I mean, obviously there are some hard things that it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to be able to distract yourself from it, but, it's not as extreme as that, then, you can always encourage others and do things for them. So I hope you guys like this idea. I hope it's getting, getting your mind kind of going like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't have to be too complicated. Okay, I could do this, I know it seems complicated, but especially when doing something like these, laying it all out, cutting everything to one, cutting out the strips, then cutting each diagonal, it goes faster. Doing one can take a lot longer than doing a load, as well as the name cards, just cutting strips and then making little fours, or I mean 3, these are 3 by 3. But anyway, it doesn't have to be that complicated, so hopefully this didn't look too hard, because it's really not that bad. I'm definitely having an off day, but we all have those days. So I hope you like this idea. I hope you're going to spend some more time crafting with me, and I hope you guys had a great holiday, and I can't wait to see you guys some more. Have a great day. Goodbye.